Hey, Kathy, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
This may be unconventional, but let's hear the good news first for a change.
All right, good news it is. I'm going shopping with my mom.
Oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. When are you going?
Actually, that's the bad news.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, but Mom says she wants to go today.
No way. Daryl, are you kidding me? You're going shopping with her today of all days?
I know, you don't have to tell me. I know today was the day we were supposed to go talk with the wedding planner.
If you knew that, then why did you say yes? Couldn't you have done shopping with your mom another day?
I said I was sorry. There was no way I could reschedule this shopping trip.
Why not?
Because Mom said she wanted to go today.
Why?
I don't know, she just said she wanted to go today, that's all I know. So yeah, how can I reschedule it if she wanted to go today?
Hold on. You're saying that the reason you couldn't reschedule to another day is because your mom wanted to go shopping today? Like, that's it? It's nothing urgent, there's no rush. She just wanted to go today, so you're going today? Am I missing something?
I don't know what there is to miss. This is my mom we're talking about, Kathy. The woman who gave birth to me, raised me, made me who I am today. She's my family.
Aren't we getting married? Doesn't that make us family?
We're not married yet, are we?
What, so once we officially tie the knot, then you'll start prioritizing your commitments to me?
That depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on whether I need to prioritize my family or not.
Okay, now you've lost me. You said we're not married yet, so I'm not your family yet, but you won't give me priority over your mom even after we get married?
That's how family works, Kathy. Haven't you ever heard the expression, blood is thicker than water?
For the record, the original meaning of that expression is the opposite of how you're intending to use it. But that's beside the point. So there's no way you can reschedule this shopping trip with your mom then?
Not a chance. Mom says today, so we're going today.
Fine, we'll just have to reschedule the meeting with the wedding planner.
Are you insane? The wedding is in 2 months. We don't have the time to reschedule for a later date.
Are you telling me I have to go by myself?
Yeah, is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. This is supposed to be our wedding, isn't it?
And it's gonna be. I trust you to make the right decisions about everything, Kathy. I mean, what even is there to plan? You get a white dress, I get a black tuxedo. What else is there?
A ton of stuff! We need to choose the decorations, reception meal, invitation designs. I can't do this all by myself.
Well, you're gonna have to because Mom just pulled up in the car, so we're out of here. See you later, Kathy. Have fun talking with the wedding planner.
Hey there, Kathy. Listen, dear, I'm so sorry about taking Daryl shopping with me last week. But I just couldn't go shopping without him. I needed someone to carry all my bags for me. You pulled Daryl away from the meeting with the wedding planner just to carry your bags? When you're as wealthy as our family, a simple shopping trip could end up requiring a moving van to bring it all home. Not that you'd know anything about that. Right. So, did you get everything settled with the wedding then? Not quite. Let's just say there's a lot of work to do before this wedding happens. A lot of work. You had all afternoon to discuss things with her, though. Oh well, you'll just have to make time to meet with her again. Did you at least get your wedding dress picked out? No, we never got around to that. But the wedding dress is the most important thing in the wedding. That should have been your first priority. Well, without Daryl there, it was difficult to move the conversation along. No matter, I've got the perfect solution for you. You can wear my dress. Your dress? You mean the one that you wore at your wedding? That's right, dear. It's only ever been used once, and it's been sitting untouched in my closet ever since. I see. Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not so sure that would work out. Nonsense, it'll be great. It may smell a teensy-weensy bit like mothballs, but that only adds to the character of the dress, I'd say. It's sure to leave an impression at any rate. And isn't vintage clothing all the rage with the youth these days? I'm pretty sure my idea of vintage and yours are a few decades apart. Oh, and did I mention it was made by a famous designer? It cost me over $10,000 when I bought it, and that was 30 years ago. Oh, one more thing I should probably tell you. There are a few holes in it. But that's nothing that can't be stitched up. No one will even notice. Karen, I'm really grateful for you to offer to let me use your dress, but really, it's all right. When I get married, I want to be wearing a dress that I picked out for myself. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear. Let's try that again. Kathy, you are going to wear my dress to your wedding. Again, thank you for the kind offer, but I'm going to choose my own dress. That wasn't an offer. It was an order. Excuse me? I mean, really, who do you think you are, turning down my generosity like a pretentious little brat? That's uncalled for, Karen. If I'm being honest, I've seen pictures of your wedding, and I don't think your dress would look good on me. That's all. How dare you? You commoners are all the same. You wouldn't know high fashion if Coco Chanel personally came up and slapped you in the face. This is my son's wedding, and I will not allow you to wear some dress you bought at a sale at a department store. What do you mean, commoner? What is this, medieval Europe? You know exactly what I mean. Our family is a long line of successful entrepreneurs. Daryl has a high-paying job at an industrial giant, and one day he'll inherit our family's estate. And what are you doing with your life, Kathy? Daryl doesn't tell me much about your work, but I do know that you've been hopping from company to company on almost a monthly basis. I take it you've never heard of a freelancer, then? Is that what you young people call being a rolling stone these days? Not exactly. But anyway, this conversation has gone way off the rails. I'm not going to wear your wedding dress, Karen. That's all I have to say on the subject. You are in no position to say no to me. That Daryl, what was he thinking proposing to a girl like you? You're poor, you have no taste, you're insolent and ungrateful. He could have had any woman he wanted. Well, excuse me for being such a hot commodity. I'll have you know Daryl was the one who made the first move in our relationship. I was at a party when he came up to me and said he saw me from across the room, thought I was beautiful, and asked me out to dinner. But what really sealed the deal was when I cooked dinner for him at my place. He told me it was the best food he'd ever eaten. Better than yours, actually. So while you may not see any appeal in me, your son sure did. I don't believe that for 1 second. You, a better cook than me? Not a chance. If you don't believe me, you can ask him yourself. I'm a pretty good cook. I bet you had someone else cook it for you. What's that new app thingy called? Super Feats? It's Uber Eats, Karen. Whatever it's called, I don't care. The point is, you must have used some kind of trickery to make Daryl fall for you. Your feminine wiles may have worked on him, but I'm no fool. I see right through you. Don't forget that I can make my son do whatever I want him to. Trust me, I'm aware of that. Good, then you're aware that if I tell him to break up with you, your engagement is over. If you want to hold on to your dream of living on my family's money, then you had better watch your tongue. Good morning, Kathy. I'm sure you're wondering why we're not at the wedding, aren't you? Well, there's a very good reason for that. We all decided to go on vacation. You what? Me and my husband and my son are all in Hawaii. I can't believe this. Today is the wedding. You can't expect me to believe you forgot. No, we were all very aware the wedding was today when we bought our tickets. Okay, so you knew the wedding was today and you went on vacation anyway? Why would you do that? I know someone of your low stature may never understand this, but there's more to life than silly ceremonies. Silly ceremony? You think your son's wedding is a silly ceremony? Obviously, dear. The whole thought of my son marrying a shrill harpy from the slums is so utterly ridiculous it borders on comical. But even if you were someone of any real importance, family is still the most important thing in this world. Ah, I see where Daryl got his ideas on marriage from. So you're under the impression that someone's birth family is more important than their spouse, is that right? It's simply the natural law of the world. I gave birth to him, Kathy. There is nothing you could ever do to make him love you more than me. You should get used to the fact as soon as possible, since you'll be his wife sooner or later. Sooner or later, huh? Well, seeing as you guys are in Hawaii right now, I guess it's looking to be more on the later side. I mean, I have to say, this is just astonishing. I'm almost too shocked to be angry at you. What possible excuse could you have to plan a vacation for the day of your son's wedding? Please, I'm just dying to hear any justification you have. You sound like such a Taurus right now. Oh no. Oh, please no. Tell me this doesn't have anything to do with astrology. Everything has to do with astrology, you uncultured fool. The horoscope was clear. Today was a good day for traveling. The second I read this week's newspaper, I went out and bought the tickets for all three of us. Without even talking to Daryl first? Why bother? He's my son. I know he would never disobey me. And sure enough, when I told him we were going on vacation, he immediately spoke to his superior and got his paid time off approved. We've spent the last few days discussing all the fun, adventurous things we want to do while we're here. I'm glad to hear the three of you have such good communication. Tell me, Karen, at any point in the last few days while you were discussing your wonderful Hawaiian vacation, did you ever think to tell anyone else about your trip? I'm confused. Who else would we tell? I don't know. How about me? You know, the person who was supposed to marry your son today? Oh, I guess we must have forgotten about you. Sorry about that. Don't worry, though. This was meant to be. It was written in the stars that my family would go on this vacation. You might be upset about that now, but I'm sure that something good will come out of all this. One day you'll come to be grateful that we took this vacation. We'll see about that. And what about the guests? What about them? What am I supposed to tell them? They're all gathered at the chapel right now, waiting for the wedding to start. What are you going to do about them? I don't care. Tell them whatever you'd like. No one from our side of the family is there. It's all your relatives. So you're not concerned that my relatives all went out of their way to come to a wedding that is now going to be canceled? Some people traveled to be here. Others took time off of work. Yes, and? Your family is nothing but menial laborers. If they did important jobs like my Daryl, maybe it would merit an apology. But they should be thanking me, if anything. They're free to spend the rest of the day doing whatever they'd like now that the wedding is canceled. Tell them they can go home and drink or watch football or whatever it is that you poor people do on your days off. Okay, I've heard enough of your disgusting lies about my family. My family are not poor, and they do not spend their days off drinking and watching football. But that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part is that you are severely prejudiced against people less fortunate than you. You were born into a wealthy family. Congratulations, you won the genetic lottery. Some people, however, had to work for what they have in life. My parents were both born poor, but they started their own business. That business grew and grew and grew, and they're doing quite well for themselves now. Oh, congratulations. How's the lawn service business doing? I bet you're mowing at least 3 lawns a week. Enough. You owe me and my entire family an apology this instant. I don't owe you or your family anything. You owe me and my family for paying the taxes that keep you alive. What is wrong with you? I've told you so many times, we're not poor. Your pathetic lies won't work on me, Kathy. I know what you are, and I always have. I will not apologize to you because I've done nothing wrong. Now hurry up and tell the wedding staff that the wedding is canceled. You're the ones who are canceling it, not me. You talk to them. I have much better things to do with my time, like getting a massage, eating tropical fruits, basking in the glorious Hawaiian sun. You really are something else, Karen. You, Daryl, and your whole family, you're all sick. Nonsense, we're not sick. We've never felt better. The tropical breeze here really soothes the body and soul. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm off to enjoy the scenery now. Tell the staff and guests the wedding is canceled. What wedding? What other wedding is there? Your wedding. My wedding? Why would I have a wedding today? Whatever game you're playing, I'm not interested. It's no game. What, were you under the impression Daryl and I were getting married? Why would we be getting married when he never even proposed? He never... What? Daryl never proposed. And there was never going to be a wedding today, so there's nothing to cancel. But you just said... About my family being here? Yeah, that was a lie. Daryl never asked me to marry him, so I never reserved a venue, caterer, nothing. But, that's impossible. Then why did you go to the wedding planner? Beats me. One day, Daryl suddenly started acting as though we were getting married. That was surprising to me, considering, once again, he never asked me and I never said yes, but I just kind of went along with it. Then one day, he told me he made a reservation to talk with the wedding planner. That was the day you took him shopping. I told you we didn't get much planned, right? That's because we spent the entire meeting on a different subject. What in the world were you talking about then? How big of a jerk Daryl is. What? I told her how he never proposed, he just kept pushing me along toward marriage, and I didn't know what to do about it. So we talked about our relationship for a while, and at the end she told me, Kathy, you need to walk away from this relationship as soon as possible. And you know what? She is right. I don't want to marry an insensitive jerk like him. I wouldn't put up with your family's toxicity even if I did want any of your money. But I don't need it, so I'm leaving. Enjoy your vacation. Kathy, wait! I don't understand!
You're wrong, Kathy. I did propose to you. Why would you deny that? Don't you remember the night we went to that fireworks show? I bought the best, most expensive seats they had. We were the closest to the launch area of anyone in the crowd. Then during the finale, they did that crazy thing where there were like 20 things shooting off at the same time, and that was when I proposed. I said, clear as day, let's get married.
You did? That's odd. I don't remember hearing you say that at all.
You what? I asked you to be my wife and you weren't even listening to me?
Reread the texts you just sent me about the fireworks show, and it should all become clear to you.
I read everything again and I still don't get it.
Oh, for the love of... I couldn't hear myself think during that finale. Like you said, there were dozens of things exploding at the same time, practically right above our heads.
You should have been paying more attention to me. What's more important, me or the fireworks?
During the finale? The fireworks! Regardless of whether I heard you or not, I definitely didn't say yes.
Yes, you did!
When? How? Did I ever say, yes, Daryl, I want to marry you?
No, but you smiled.
And?
You smiled right when I said, let's get married. I thought that you had heard me, but you were just too shy to say the words.
No way. You took a smile during the fireworks show as me saying yes to getting married?
What else was I supposed to think?
That I was enjoying the show. I wasn't even looking at you, was I?
Well, no, but still.
But nothing, Daryl. Look, whether you propose to me or not is really not the issue anymore. Let's say for a second that you did everything right. You got down on one knee, looked me in the eyes, whipped out a ring, and said, will you marry me? Let's even say, for the purpose of the argument, that I said yes and meant it. After the events of these past few months, I would have broken off the engagement anyway.
What? How can you say that? What have I done to you that would make you want to break up with me?
Oh boy, how much time do you have? Sit down, this'll be a while. The only work you did regarding the wedding was to make the reservation with the planner. You pushed all the other work onto me. You never even sat down and looked at the pamphlets you picked up together with me. Then you blew off the reservation you made to go shopping with your mom?
But I thought that weddings were more of a woman's thing. Don't women like to have everything exactly how they wanted it? I was footing the bill for it so you could have whatever kind of wedding you wanted.
No, sorry, that excuse isn't gonna fly with me. You didn't make me do all of the work out of concern for my wishes. You were just being lazy. You never even asked me about what we talked about when I went to see the planner. You were clearly indifferent to the whole thing and insensitive to me. I would never marry a man who was so inconsiderate of me and my feelings as you are.
Kathy, please, I do care about your feelings. Why won't you believe me?
You told me I still wouldn't get priority over your mom even after we got married.
Yeah, but we already had that talk. Family comes first.
Oh yeah, I learned all about your family's bizarre notions of marriage and family life. You're exactly like your mother. I don't want anything to do with your family.
Look, I messed up, I know, but I can do better.
No, Daryl, I really don't think you can. Give it up. I will never marry you. Enjoy your vacation, Daryl. This is goodbye. I just heard about everything from Daryl. I can't believe you didn't actually hear him propose. I already talked about this enough for one day, Karen. I'd like to move on with my life now, if that's all right. It's all water under the bridge. We do have one final bit of unfinished business, however. Stop sending me that dress. I am not going to wear it to marry your son or any other man. I have spent far too much on return shipping as it is. I was only trying to be helpful. You know what would be helpful? If you could stop harassing the hotel staff. Harassing? I'm not harassing anyone. You've been doing nothing but making ridiculous demands from the hotel staff since you arrived and screaming your head off at them when they decline. You asked for free dinners, free upgrades, free room service, and more perks because your son is getting married. He's not anymore, but even if the wedding were still on, that wouldn't entitle you to free room and board. I didn't ask for that much. You even asked them to knock 50% off the price of your stay because Daryl might come back there for his honeymoon. Hey, wait a second. How do you know all of this? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, I would. Now tell me. My parents own that hotel. You're lying. Well, to be more accurate, their company owns the hotel. They operate the one you're staying at and a couple others in Hawaii. Not to mention a bunch more all across the country. And to think back, it all started with buying an old bed and breakfast and renovating it. You're serious, aren't you? But if that's true, then your parents must be some of the wealthiest people on the planet. They're 1%ers at any rate. Why didn't you ever tell me about them? I don't know. You never asked. I doubt you'd believe me even if I had told you. You were so committed to holding this image of me as being some poor girl from the slums until my knight in shining armor Daryl came to sweep me off my feet. So you'll have to understand why I didn't talk to you very much about my family after you spent all that time belittling them before even meeting them. You had no right to keep that from me. I absolutely did, but while we're at it, would you like to hear more about my job? I'm a freelance hotel management consultant. That's why I kept going from hotel to hotel, because I would get hired to consult for them on a specific issue, and when the job was done, I moved on. I'm doing this as a sort of training program for when I one day take over my parents' empire of hotels. I've done consulting work in just about all the major tourism destinations in the country by now. It's a great experience. You're kidding. You are going to run the business? Who would be better than me? I've been working with my mom and dad from the very beginning. I started out sweeping up the floors in their first bed and breakfast after school, and look at me now. So, Karen, did I convince you yet that I'm not poor? Yes, you have. You know, I will admit one thing. You might have just convinced me about astrology. Your horoscope was 100% right. Something good did come out of your vacation. I am finally rid of your psycho family. It never quite sunk in for Daryl that I was through with him. He kept on messaging me for weeks on end about being sorry and begging me to take him back. In the end, I just turned off notifications for his texts and calls. He can continue to shout into the void if he wants. His mom did the same thing, begging me to take Daryl back. She was even generous enough to buy me a brand new dress, any dress I wanted. Her, I blocked. You won't be surprised to hear that Karen blamed the breakup of the non-engagement on me when she explained everything to her relatives. But somehow word got around to them about, everything. About the proposal that never happened, the way Karen tried to force me to wear her ragged old dress, the way they went to Hawaii on the day of the wedding. It wasn't me, honest. Well, maybe it was me. But now their relatives are starting to call and visit much less than they did before.